So I wanted to kind of hop on here and just go over some stuff that I saw. A big thing right now is a lot of people are upset with, and when I say a lot of people on the right, the MAGA people, are upset with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy because basically they're taking it as these guys are saying that Americans, more specifically whites, are not qualified to do some of these tech jobs like the Indians are. And a lot of people on the right are making an argument that it just don't add up. You can't be America first and then talk about employing Indians who are basically getting trained by American companies. You know, so and we know this because I've talked to some of the Indians, and you know, they're not just getting trained up over there because some people made some good points, and I'm going to show this that India isn't like the tech envy of the world. India is a third world country. You know, I've even done some work with some Indians. They're telling me that they don't even have like a complete plumbing system in India. You know, some of these people still have to use the bathroom and outside basically. So I just want to get into some of these things. First of all, Elon Musk. It is weird with with people in general because people don't really think, and sometimes I'm not somebody that thinks like I would like to, but as far as critically and just take the emotion out of it and just be logical. A lot of people can't be that because a lot of people don't want to change if they are wrong. First of all, it's going to take a lot of work in some cases. But Elon Musk is not even American. And for some reason, white people don't seem to care about that as long as he's white. And it seems like, and this is just some, I can't say for sure all, but some don't seem to care as long as he's white and he seems like he's on their team. These people can be sold to. That's the thing. Like white people get sold to a lot, probably more so than black people because a lot sometimes the black, and this is not to say black people don't have money, but just if we talk about in general, the white people actually get sold to more than probably anybody. Now, and a lot of times they don't want to get sold. They claim they don't want to get sold to, but really they seem to like to get sold to because a lot of some of selling is actually lying. I had a salesperson tell me that if you want to be a good salesperson, you have to be basically a good liar. Now, Vivek is an immigrant. His family isn't from here. He's only been here for like one generation. To be an American is not just citizenship, and a lot of people let this lie go on. Some black people, a lot of people, because it benefits a lot of people when they undermine the black people, actually. Because to say this country was built by immigrants would kind of refer to blacks not really being the main people to actually build this country as far as labor, whether you want to say it was done forcefully or not. And as far as the innovations, whether you want to say all of them that black people get credited for are not really theirs, there's so many that that doesn't even matter. So black Americans have definitely contributed to this country in the world. But see, the thing is, so like people like Vivek and Patrick David, if that even is his real name, is these people they don't really have deep roots in this country, and they align themselves with white people, and they act like they are white, meaning they're these talking points, right? But they'll never be white, and at the same time, these people come over here and reject and assimilate to somebody else's culture, which is you can take from people's culture and what you like, just to give credit and do your own thing. But see, they like being under white people, from what I've seen. So I can be wrong, I can be right. It can be right on some things and wrong on some other things. But this dude, but and the other thing is, since they don't really have those deep roots, they don't have no stories like we have stories. Like my grandmother has stories, my grandfathers have stories, my great grandparents had stories, and they have stories. These people don't have no stories in this country about how things used to be. They don't know about bell bottoms and things of that nature. They don't know about disco. But the thing is, too, what you'll see is a lot of people are making this point is that many of these racists and even non-racist have allowed these lies to go on and go on and go on, and they okay seeing other groups get undermined or not treated fairly. Not to say all of them, but we know there's a group that we know there's a number of them that are okay, um, seeing um, a lot of unjust stuff happen to black people, or people just don't say anything and they say silence is compliance. So this dude, one thing I noticed for a lot of these immigrants is that they love to try to spin things in a way so that way they don't ever have to leave if that's an option. That's why you'll see these illegals now talk about, well, we weren't getting treated good and all this other stuff. This is what the freeloader does. Not to say that these people are freeloaders, but that's what the freeloaders do. They definitely don't want to go back. They definitely don't like where they come from, and they'll undermine. We got scammers here, but they got scammers there. We didn't understand that. And the thing is, we don't need to be importing scammers. So he's going to try to do whatever he can say to make it seem like immigrants are cool because he's an immigrant. Now look what this guy put. So you want me to hire, not to hire a high performing, hard-working, and skilled Indian, and you want me to hire an American even if the person is not capable, lacks skills, and is entitled. Oh, so you support DEI. I thought you hated it. Well, first of all, those people are hypocrites in most cases. I think we can all agree. And if not most, a number of them. So we just talked about what do we do with the people that are the hypocrites? Because he makes a point, right? But see, this is what he's this, and somebody else made this point about, they say the Mexicans and some of these other immigrants come over here to do the low wage work, so that way, because no Americans don't want to do it, and no black people don't want to do it. But then they also say the high paying tech jobs we not qualified for, even though they're not doing anything in the schools to say, hey, um, this need to be something emphasized for when you get out of school. Because some of these Indians, they go to college, but then some of them are not. Some of them are just getting trained by American companies, and they send them to places like this place right here, Cumberland's University of Cumberland's, right? Uh, there's a couple of Indians I spoke to that attended this place, and from what I remember, the the company was paying for them to get trained, and then some of them actually go back to India. So that way, they'll, from what I understand, what they were telling me, what the one guy was telling me, if I remember correctly, basically they'll bring them over here, pay for their schooling, so they can learn some of these tech jobs, right? Get the skills. So I have to pay them a certain wage in America, and then they'll send them back so they can pay them something lower. Now, that's in that case because it's different cases, right? Because there's some that are over here, and I heard see people make the argument too, like well, a lot of these some of these people are hiring managers, right, and they go hire their own. I mean, that may or may not be true, but that does happen, right? In some cases, we would think because it happens with other people. They complain about that with white people. So, I've seen some hiring managers that, that had a Ohachi Johnny Quest head gear on. So, they are in the tech space. I've even had some of them hire me. Can't really speak English that well, but for some reason they can be in HR. They can be because they get hired for customer service and they get hired for a whole bunch of stuff. Not just they get hired for a whole bunch of stuff. So this is wild. Like, and it's like when black people say something, it's shut up because a lot of them have the hateful spirit. They jealous, so they don't want to hear it. Because at the end of the day, even if black people were getting treated unfairly, one of the last things these racists want to do is see black people do good because it just eats them up so bad. They so jealous, such haters, so insecure, and just overall overall crash outs and f ups really. So with this school, they let me go back to the so see some of the programs they got. Yeah, but if I remember correctly, they were saying the companies pay for the for the for their schooling. This is right in Kentucky. Probably 90%. I mean, I'm pretty sure some white people that go to the school because you can see from the pictures and stuff like that. But they definitely got the foreigners coming in, and they definitely, if you see, you would think. But the thing is, if you can't be, first of all, why would Elon Musk, why would Patrick Bet David, why would like Vivek, why would they be American first anyway? They just got over here, man. They just got over here. You would it's crazy that like you would be quick to trust people that would leave where they from and not even go back in or say we want to make this a better place. They just like, oh, it's corrupt. We go, and that's just an excuse. It's an excuse. This place is corrupt. They even admit it. Patrick McDavid even admit it. So, but this is thing too. Like he's saying we not capable. I'm telling you that's a lie because these people are getting trained over here. Or at least by the companies. They're not learning. They don't have nothing over there that we don't have over here. That's why they're trying to come over here. It's not a great situation over there. And this dude saying he American first, well, yet he won't hire Americans first, or even say, hey, yeah, where they, where can I find Americans? That ain't even a thought. That's what I'm saying. These dudes, what happened too is these foreigners, they kind of got slick because they don't really these kind of foreign. They don't really talk about white people publicly typically. I had one kind of say something a little bit slick, and I was just surprised, like because I never heard him say that. Like, dude, don't say that to me. Say that to them. So who knows what kind of real feelings they got harbored up against these folks. Some of them is real love sellouts. And some of them, they might be trying to secretly compete with them for real. But this person makes a good point too. Like, why should Americans compete with the world? And these folks, they don't be wanting to compete. They don't be wanting to pay people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, like, really? But these racists, they don't care because look, they like, hey man, as long as somebody getting screwed over, that's why it was a mistake the way they did integration. Black people should have went for ownership and something that was parallel to everything they was doing, and then you come to the table like, okay, this is what we have to offer. And if we don't want to deal with what you got, then we gonna just stay over here. But you got these fools basically that wanted to integrate with people that hate you and will undermine you. And then when you try to tell them, they don't care because some of them are haters. That's what I've noticed. The coons is haters. Other thing, hard work, man. Hard work is BS. Hard work is you just talk about focusing. The hard work ain't nothing for you to. A lot of these rappers don't even have talent. If they know the right people, is willing to do the right thing, they can get on with limited talent. They might not they might not stick and have long term earning potential like others, but we see them come and go all the time. A lot of these guys are not real street dudes. Don't to be a real street dude. These dudes don't have no discipline. These people just isn't basically seem like narcissists and people that got a vendetta against black people. And it's black people like that. I've been with people that been around people that's like they was pro black. You know what I'm saying? Like, and these people be jealous of black people's success. And these ain't gangsters or nothing like that. But it can be anybody. It's haters that's in the street. It's squares that's haters, and they contribute to some of the because this is ridiculous for black people to let some of these other groups pass them up. But we got haters that actually work against the best interests of black people within the group and outside of the group. Some pretending to be black American, but then really don't want to be called black American. And you know what it is with some of these haters too. They want to have one up on you, and it's really nothing. So they'll just really try to sabotage. Because with the whole, I seen this one African girl. She say, and this is just my perspective, right? So from my perspective, if you're so proud of where you're from, you need to be there. And if you're not there and you keep yelling it, then you seem insecure. And if you saying it to try to make me feel bad, that's another sign that you insecure. But then you become a problem. For me, just you know, I just I really not. You need to neutralize any threats and things of that nature. It need to be solutions oriented. So I'm gonna share this right here, and I'm gonna so I'm just go down to what people have been talking about here. So this is the Hotel Jesus. This isn't about Americans versus immigrants. This is about white men versus America. Take note of this when they try to tell you it's about Americans and they consider you American. You're only American to them when it benefits white men. Well, does he have a point? I mean, he either does or he doesn't. So if it's true, are any of them going to change? Probably not, or at least not a large percentage. So you just got to move differently. That's what I say. I say I don't really. It don't matter if all white people ain't racist. The fact of the matter is what black people as a group have been doing these past 40 years or so hasn't been working because they're at the bottom. So need to do something different. And people that still want to do the same thing because these are cowards usually or haters, maybe not that smart or a combination, you know. But the thing is, like, those kind of people, they kind of they'll try to waste time. So it's best to just do what you need to do and get with like-minded people and not look for no leaders. Dr. George Fraser told us make a lifetime commitment to learning and self-improvement. If you do that, it's going to be hard to lie to yourself. A lot of these people lie to themselves. Well, I won't say it won't be hard to lie to yourself, but if you are lying to yourself, at some point in time, you probably, if you consider your study and things like that, looking for improvement, you might come to the realization when you are lying to yourself so that way you can do better. A lot of people don't even believe in themselves. A lot of people have given up. But if you're going to be on somebody's team and you know they giving up, they're not really going to tell you that because you wouldn't really want to be around them for the most part. So sometimes people kind of hide that kind of stuff. But just in my experience and what I've seen, that's just my perspective. Doesn't mean it's in this case. It could be in very few cases, but it's in some cases. It says you're only American to do when it benefits white men. Probably white women too. I don't know why people could go with the separation, but you know, yeah, these people are hypocrites, man. The best thing to do is not be a hypocrite. And this foreigner, this dude not even here. He's not even here. And this is the other thing with street business, right? You can't just have people in your business that don't need to be in your business. That's this dude's supposed to be like he's been supposed to be like not relevant in the right wing, but because he talks racist stuff, in my opinion, they cool with it. Because if he talking bad or putting black people in a bad light, they cool with it. They get off on that, and then try to lie and to themselves. And I don't even know if they lied to themselves on that one, but they try to convince a lot of people that they are good people. But we clearly see that these people are sick and not good people. So much so that they have to pretend to be something they ain't. They have to pretend to be moral because it's too difficult for them to be moral. To me, I'd rather not deal with folks like that. Lames. Let me see. I support Vivek Ramaswamy. Now he's not even over here. He in our, he in our that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, you can't have people in your business like this, especially that don't need to be in your business. Ain't even got nothing to do with this. Says I do. He said I do not tolerate these racist attacks on him, and neither should you. And I wonder, is this real? Like, is he really trying to plead to the racists? Is he really trying to really? That's what I wish the racists just let them know how they really feel and just really start calling them names, because they're not gonna do nothing. That's why they try to hide behind us or throw us under the bus, so that way the racists don't have to come at them, because they ain't really got a history of really fighting them like that consistently. If black people don't have no culture, what folks can tell people is that we have a what is black culture to fight against racism. Because these folks, like, these folks, they talk so much trash, and then they the majority where they at. We 12%, and they talking about us. They don't talk about the Native Americans. They don't talk about other groups. They don't talk about the white people. Now, one thing about these folks is weird, and they're not really used to, so they'll crash out sometimes. These folks, because they'll, over there it can be lawless. I seen, and this ain't AI either. I've seen where they just beat women in the streets and stuff like that. Just you know, just having just food all over the place, and they're supposed to be cooking out in the streets, selling food. Very unsanitary. You say disagree with his views if you want, but questioning his patriotism and bringing up his ethnicity is uncalled for. Well, no, it's not really, because it's like, do you have a dual allegiance? Do you have a dual allegiance? That's the like, it's just these folks. A lot of these racists, they'll rather get undermined about other people, and that's how it is with the haters. Some haters would rather lose than win with you. Questioning his patriotism. You can question anybody's patriotism. This is American. How he going? Why is this dude worried about us questioning somebody's patriotism in America, and he's like in Indonesia? That's what I'm talking about. You got to get people out of your business. Don't need to be in your business. So I don't even know a lot of Black Americans even argue with some of these folks that ain't even from here, whether they be black or whatever color, or white people. Really, if something need to get done, or if something needs to be corrected, having these other folks in the conversation shouldn't be really had, because these folks is underminers anyway, many of them. And if they ain't an underminer, then they shouldn't even mind. If you tell somebody go away and they refuse to go away, that's a threat. And bringing up his ethnicity, yeah, of course they gonna bring up. These folks ain't worried about logical arguments or uh some real debate. These not classy folks. Then they got a picture of the man's family. And then the whole thing, he said, questioning his patriotism. This what I'm saying. These the foreigners, they're gonna stick together because they have that. And I'm talking about black, Asian, uh, Hispanic. All of them gonna stick together on these kind of debates, because if you didn't need um, the H1B1 labor, then you wouldn't need them, because you would just have it all homegrown. But he telling Americans stop questioning another American's patriotism when they hiring other people from out of the country from where he's from. And yeah, that's a problem. Not that he's hiring them, but the fact that they trying to act like these, because when you say capable, they like that don't even make sense. That's how can I even put that like in comparison? It's like saying that black people aren't capable of playing in the NBA just if a team doesn't have black people on it. We know they can play in the NBA. We know they can dominate if given an opportunity. So I hope that is a good comparison. If not, I had to find one, but that should work. Bringing up his ethnicity. Yeah, man, he's not. He can try to dress like him, because this ain't his. This ain't look. He don't abandon his like. This ain't his uh, uh, uh you know cultural attire. This ain't their cultural attire from back home. He want to assimilate. Assimilate mean basically we gonna do what y'all. We gonna copy what y'all do, and we gonna discard our roots. What does it say? He said, "Get off your knees, Alex. For goodness sakes, let's see you with this." Let me see. It is a classic American policy to brain drain the best from across the planet and bring them here. Musk has always advocated for this policy. Everyone bitching that Elon Musk has flip flopped are either ignorant or trying or lying. Elon to be Elon to a great extent is the poster child for this program working. Yeah, I don't agree with that. What Alex said, if I'm comprehending that, he's basically saying this is Elon is a poster child for the H1B1 working. The whole thing is, if it's so great, American companies and institutions are teaching these people, so they can, so the American companies can teach Americans. But you know, like some have said, they have more control when they have these folks on that H1B1. I don't know. Excuse me, I don't know, but that's what they say. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with David Icke on this. Like, and to be fair, I think I have seen videos where Elon was saying he wanted to. And he's talking about now. He's another one. He's not, and nobody even. A lot of people don't even question that. They just like, as long as he seemed to be racist, it's cool. And I think another thing with people like, dude, this dude can just say he's this or he's that. Like he would just, they just go with it. And it's crazy when the folks that's so arrogant and they act like they can't be tricked or fooled, and they act like they know it all and really don't study or question things. This shit, he should never be like in no American politics. It's ridiculous. Like, dude, he's not even from here. He's not American. And these folks are stupid, man. Another thing, man, some of these folks make good money. They definitely don't want those jobs to go to black people. But it's up to black people to kind of get other black people in tech and just get paid like how they get paid. So it is what it is. Let me see this right here. All Elon Musk has to do is say, "Hey, everybody, I was talking about Black American, not all Americans," and the tide against him would immediately turn. Uh, I think he might be able to still talk his way out of this. I don't know. Some people won't let it go. I don't think some people is like he been exposed, so or at least they eyes just open. I think that's what it was. I mean, because he been kind of saying stuff. So like, yeah, you cannot be America first and then try to promote the H1B1 and not be like, well, we got a fast track because it's not like everything. The whole thing is with these folks, especially if look, they get taught this stuff. They not this the it's in the different aspects of it, right? Some of it is like data analysis where they have to interpret data. They don't really interpret data like we interpret data because they don't understand our culture like that. That's one thing. The other thing is when you get bugs and stuff out, like kinks and stuff like that in the application things of that nature. All that stuff is going to happen. So it's always like what's the word I'm looking for? Like there's always going to be something to do and something to learn as you go because especially when you're doing like new products you have to find out what you need to do to improve if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I think one thing I was gonna say, like with the Patrick Bet David and the Vivek, I noticed these dudes they started. One thing about him is they can speak better than a lot of the other. um, East Asians and Arabs, really. So they have more of a sales presentation. They more salesy. They got more sales training. Looked like it seemed like so they can be more sound like more like politicians and things of that nature. Vague, hopeful speak. Then another thing though, like is Vivek. A lot of the MAGA people claim to be against big pharma, but then Vivek was in the pharmaceutical business, if I understand correctly. So that never really made sense. Another thing is like, why would you even want to do? That's what another thing with these people. They so uh, really down bad and just I don't know, like scoundrels. Really, like I wouldn't want to deal with no rats and no sellouts. They love to have the rats and the sellouts. The one dude from Fresh and Fit, the Arab dudes that sell out. That ain't even his real name. So I won't even say his name because it's not his real name. He pretended to be somebody he's not with a fake voice. Like, and then these guys is actually spending their money with them fools. Oh boy, these dudes spending money with this dude so they can get girls that don't want them. Like, dude, you got to do all that. You need to just get you some money. If they don't want you and you got to do all that crap, dude, you just ain't got it. This is, as I've said many times, all you have to do with these people is substitute me or I for America in their posts to find out what they are really saying. So Elon is saying it comes down to this. Do you want America to win or do you want America to lose? If you force the world's best talent to play for the other side, America will lose. End of story. So, I mean, I just, this is pathetic. So, this dude is saying if we want America to win, we got to get foreign talent that the American companies pay to educate. Because who's educating these people? Are they getting an education in India? Nope. Now, one thing about it, a lot of these tech companies are, um, well, some of them, these tech companies, what they're starting to do is India is starting to do a lot of the hiring in the tech sector too. They're starting to be like the um, the agencies, the recruiting agencies for the tech companies. And a lot of these folks, you know, some of them seem shady, some of them are legit, but I have noticed that they are the ones they starting to have a lot of these recruiting companies for the tech industry. And he said force the world's best talent to play for the other side. That's un-American. This is what I'm saying. These people, they not American. See, we Americans would have said we gonna no the best talent is over here. Yeah, we gonna train up Americans so that we won't need no foreign labor. America and they politics. The people know that these politicians corrupt. They know that foreign countries can pay these guys, and they still keep voting for these people. It's just like, look, some people will take less, and the people that will take less will fight with people that want more if it makes them uncomfortable. And he said, substitute me for I. So when it comes down to it, do you want me to win or do you want me to lose? It said, if you if you force the world's best talent to play for the other side, I will lose. End of story. So Rod Flipkowski, that was a good one. It says this is the AF Post. It says Elon Musk defends engineer Kachi after he went on a racist tirade against white Americans. Now the white folks complaining about racism. He said at the risk of stating the obvious, I think stating the obvious is what he meant. There are many attention-seeking trolls on social media platforms trying to yank your chain. They win if you respond. He so this person says one of your engineers is racist. So he don't care if he racist or not. He is because he's a troll. So as long as you trolling, it's okay to be racist. But went a little over the top in the past few days. So will Elon Musk continue to employ a racist, an anti-white racist, and still be American first? So this is what this person put: if your race is so great, why am I why am I out competing you on every axis that actually matters? Seems like you are the one who is dis dysgenic. I need to look that word up. Thankfully, evolution will take care of you in due time. Good luck to you and your children if you are capable of having any. Wow, that was savage. You got them like that. You got to share this again. He said if you can even have any. Wow. Let's see what else we got here, man. With this, he said if your race is so great, why am I out competing you on every axis that actually matters? Yeah, let me check out this word. Dysgenic. It's the idea that the population's genes may worsen over time, or that certain traits may become less common due to selective pressures. It's the opposite of eugenics. Oh well. It says seems like you are the one who is dysgenic. That oh man. He said evolution will take care of you in due time. Good luck to you and your children if you're capable of having any. Wow. Yeah, man, that was a knockout blow right there. I guess that was real offensive. People. It says LMAO STFU white boy. What have you built? What have you invented? What is your father? What has your father built? And his father before that. We will be lucky to even get one child out of you. Do better. Wow. You know that is kind of crazy too, because like these white dudes paying this Arab impersonating an American as a dating coach, and they talk about women ain't choosing them, and the birth rate is low. So that's kind of natural selection. It says racist whites will do anything to save their white race, except getting a job and having children. If you are getting replaced, it's because you are incapable of successfully playing your part. Ah, and he said that on Christmas. And Elon Musk, only thing he said was he's just a troll. They went a little bit too far. Oh boy. Let me see what these comments say. How do I check the comments on this stuff, man? Hold on, here it is. This guy say, shaking my head, disgusting. Imagine if he said this about any other race. I'm Hispanic, but this anti-white racism is weird as hell. Yeah, he said he Hispanic, and he defended them. So he probably one of those Hispanics that put white on race. Excuse me. I had to do some work for somebody that was closing a loan for a loan closing, so I had to do some notary work. And the Hispanic dude was buying a house, and this dude was a few shades lighter than me, if that. And then he could barely speak English, but he's buying a house. And then I'm verifying the stuff, and this dude put on there white for race, but then he tried to clean it up because I was like, yeah, so what race white? Yeah, oh yeah, 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 Hispanic, Hispanic. Yeah, so they will put that white on there. Say this is absolutely disgusting. It's funny how he hands out lifetime suspension to people who criticize Jews and Indians. What if it's anti-white racism is just a troll, or if it's anti-black? Because they don't mind saying anti-black stuff either. That's wild, man. This is crazy. This is hilarious, actually. What does it say? America shouldn't have to compete with the whole world for American jobs. And this is something I put on here. It's foolish for Americans to have foreigners speak for them or to think they represent them like they would to like they would. So basically, like they wouldn't represent you like you would. Too different of a perspective. Black Americans have had to learn this lesson the hard way. Yeah, because Black Americans let too many people in, like, and without any rules and without any reciprocity, anything like that, without a tax, nothing. Yeah, and I was saying, these racists and these coons, they hard headed. Even Elon did it. There's some videos of him talking bad about Elon. That's what I'm saying. These politicians, man, if you go, that's fake to say, oh, JD Vance talked about him, like talked about Trump. Like it's too fake. It's too fake for me. Just get down to business. What's the numbers? When you gonna get it done? I cry. This dude is a good. He's a con artist, in my opinion. I don't know what was he a con artist. He just don't seem very trustworthy. He said either a grown man cried on January 6th, or he lied into the camera like an actor. Both options are sus, right? I you never know what I don't know. Like maybe it's this guy, this guy got a vendetta. This one say suddenly whites understand the harsh economic effects of discriminations. You reap what you sow. Yep. This person, Dom Lucre, says, why isn't India the most technologically advanced society in the world? I mean, they have the most qualified workers in the world there, correct? So it don't add up. And then when they have, like, let's talk about the people that they have on customer service. These people be rude. You can't understand them. They generic, robotic answers, scripted answers. They rude, coming with names like John. They can barely pronounce the name. Brittany, I'm Brittany. Like these people, man. Tucker looked like a thumb with a wig and a drawn on face. I just kind of noticed that. No disrespect. Well, you heard it there. Let me see what Mark Cuban says. In an AI world where free online sources of information have already been used as training data and new sources are being sold or maybe soiled, I'm not sure, as owned IP, don't we need more people with varied expertise, including liberal arts, to contribute to models to correct hallucinations and to analyze output related to their expertise, making corrections of incorrect as opposed to hallucinated outpost? And isn't this about? I mean, isn't this also where going to college can mean having a job in a world of millions of LLMs? I'm not sure what LLM is. Is let me see what that is. Large language model. So it's has something to do with AI, a type of artificial intelligence model that uses machine learning to understand and generate human language. So he's kind of responded to Vivek's claim that the culture. So Elon's position is to deport migrants who do the jobs Americans don't want to do, while dramatically increasing the number of migrants to take the jobs that Americans really want. Yep, Rob Filipowski. It says nothing on Twitter feels better than the meltdown of Western inbreds over the Indian invasion. Maya Angelou said, "If when somebody shows you who they are, believe them." He said, "Today was the day we found out who was getting rich by screwing over the American worker. They just now knowing that he that slow." Says MAGA can't say Steve Bannon didn't try to warn him. Man, I don't know why this is doing this. Man, let me see if this will work. Listen to what he say though. Man, so he admitted he evil. So it says Congress has secretly paid out more than 17 million of your money to quietly settle charges of harassment, sexual and other forms in congressional offices. Yeah, you vote for these people. Don't you think we should release the names of the representatives? That should be automatic. The fact that it's not happening, and then how is it done? The fact that your media outlets don't tell you how it's done and it isn't getting done is a miscarriage. He says, "How do you feel about people who say college is overrated? In order to have more homegrown engineers, don't we need more kids going to college?" Why do you? They need to make it just like some kind of program, because if they need to fast track it, because only deal with the well, if you go into college and you got to deal with these electives and stuff like that, it's a waste of time. If it need to be fast tracked, she does have a point, but it seems like they want to do some mind gymnastics and basically say on white and I say so. It's like, hey, well, didn't you do the same thing? Yeah, but now we have it now. Now we have rules now. We were wrong. I was just on white and I say so. So this right here, I was just talking about, um, you know, just because somebody come over here don't mean they American. And it's just like a gemstone. The longer that gemstone is in there, it's gonna have different colors. If you dig it up too soon, it's not gonna be as fine. But the longer it's in that soil, the more beautiful and the more defined that gem is going to be. He said, "If Vivek can assimilate, no immigrant can." So I wanted to hear what the Indian, but I guess I've seen a couple of Indians kind of comment on that. He says they talking about whites the way whites and foreigners usually talk about blacks. What a feeling. Savor the moment. So this is what he said here. The reason top tech companies often hire foreign born and first generation engineers over native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficient or deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. A key part of it comes down to the C word culture. Tough questions demand tough answers. And if we're really serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence. Our American culture. It's actually not his American culture, though. This has been a problem because a lot of this immigration was used to undermine black people. And for you to think it's not going to undermine the white community also will be foolish. It might not get you right away, but it's still going to affect you. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity over excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s, and likely longer. That doesn't start in college, it starts young. The whole thing is they talk this culture thing, but then they all come from third world countries. The people over in Dubai ain't trying to come over here like that. A culture that celebrates the prom queen. See, but he would never be the prom king. A culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ, or the jock, or the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. A culture that venerates. My whole thing is, man, for them to say something like that, just y'all need to. And this is stupid too. They don't talk to these people. This is ridiculous. A culture that venerates Corey from Boy Meets World over Zach and Slater, over Screech and Saved by the Bell, or Stefan over Steve Urkel in Family Matters will not produce the best engineers. Fact, I know multiple sets of immigrant parents in the 90s who actively limited how much their kids would watch those TV shows precisely because they promoted mediocrity. And they're because they promoted mediocrity. Oh goodness, man. See, he like I said, he would never be the AC Slater or the Zach. The Zach is people that can be cool and do engineer stuff. He's almost like, oh, you can't be cool. The stuff is, if it's taught correctly, America was built up way before you got here, and their kids went on to become widely successful STEM graduates. More movies like Whiplash, fewer reruns of Friends, more math tutoring, fewer sleepovers, more weekend science competitions, fewer Saturday morning cartoons, more books, less TV, more creating, less chilling, more. Now, I do agree with that because a lot of times people just chilling, not doing nothing productive. More extracurriculars, less hanging out at the mall. Most normal American parents look skeptically at those kinds of parents. More normal American kids view such those kinds of view. Hold on, more normal American kids view such those kind of kids with scorn. If you grow up aspiring to normalcy, normalcy is what you'll achieve. Now close your eyes and visualize which families you knew in the 90s or even now who raise their kids according to one model versus the other Be brutally honest. Now I'll tell you this too. That's also the excuse to try to say, "Hey, this is why you need us here," because we don't need foreign workers. We've been undermined, but the whole thing is people, racists more specifically, have allowed and want to undermine black people, thinking that it's not going to undermine them. And all this time, it undermines them also because 90% of pro blacks and pro whites, on the low end, 90% of pro blacks and pro whites are actually typically frauds and usually do more damage to their own group than the other people. These are usually sick people just trying to get over. It says normacy doesn't cut it in a hyper competitive global market for technical talent. But the whole thing is, like I said, some of this tech stuff has to be. You have to be able to understand what you're seeing with the data. First of all, when we talk about the customer service based stuff, I mean, you can barely understand them. And if we pretend like it does, we'll have our asses handed to us by China. We and will. The whole thing is doing it the same way is doesn't work. And this is just my perspective, but for sure, the other way clearly seems to would have worked better. This can be our Sputnik moment. We've awakened from slumber before, and we can do it again. We. uh, Trump's election hopefully marks the beginning of a new golden era in America, but only if our culture fully wakes up. A culture that once again prioritizes achievement over normalcy, excellence over mediocrity, nerdiness over conformity, hard work over laziness. What is hard work? You gotta watch out for these vague words. Hard work. It ain't hard work to get picked from wherever you get picked from, and you just get taught something. That's not hard work. And you repeat the process. That's the work we have cut out for us. Rather than wallowing in victimhood and just wishing or legislating alternative hiring practices into existence, I'm confident we can do it. And again, this guy works in that industry, so he benefits. He says the Woodstock generation managed to build out of aerospace. The one before went to the moon. America was doing great. Underlying your post is that we were all living in squalor until being rescued by H1Bs. Then why did everyone want to come here? Correct. He said that version of America is the one that used to embody unbridled exceptionalism. Is exactly what we want to return to. That's the point about culture, not immigration policy. Yeah, so he wants you to ignore the immigration policy. So any unbridled exceptionalism. Last I checked, most companies are founded by Americans. We have the best on the ground troops, best tech, and really the best of everything. Yeah. So why? First of all, if we, why would we want to have foreign people more competent than us anyway? And really the best of everything. That's why people want to be here, and we don't want to go there. Correct. This person say you will have that for long. China's tech boom is insane, and they're just getting started. In 30 years, you'll be doing whatever they tell you. And he said double it. Oh, doubt it. He said doubt it. Yeah, this dude pushing immigration. No matter what, he's still pushing foreign workers. He ain't even just pushing immigration. He pushing foreign workers. She say, hold on, let me see. The craziest part about the Indian immigration debate is that it is being treated as somehow hypothetical. It's not. India exists and it's full of Indians and it sucks. She say, if y'all can teach Deepak to code, you can teach D'Angelo to code too. Well, I don't know nobody ever want to give Black Americans a chance to thrive because it would upset the balance of power. For most of them in the hood instead of rap music. Well, a lot of rappers have sold out, so their job is to promote a lot of violence, drug dealing, drug using. There's no sort of American talent. What there is a system designed to suppress American talent. Now, when we say that as Black Americans, it's an issue. Let me see if there's anything else on here. It says they were clowning DEI hires. It was all fun and games, big laughs, viral tweets. Now they're begging to be DEI hires, asking Elon to open schools and invest in them. The irony is not lost on me at all. No, it is not. Says, why isn't India the envy of the world? Says Elon just told white Americans they are too dumb to work in STEM, so he's forced to hire Indians and Asians. Remember, he's not an American. He has no lineage or allegiances to this country. He is here to extract the wealth, nothing more. Yeah, kind of seemed that way. Says American workers can leave a company. Imported H-1B workers can't. Tech wants indenture service, not high skilled workers. Says, ask yourself if some Indian fresh off the boat getting 3 to 4 months of training is able to fool an American that they are actually a seasoned 7 to 8 year professional, why can't we just train Americans to do that? Why import anyone? That's where the indentured servitude model of tying the visa to the employer is highly imported. And a lot of them tech jobs, when you do, when you do, and I don't know if it's just for all jobs. I could be mistaken, but they will ask you if you need sponsorship. It says poor Vivek Ramaswamy. No one told him that it is forbidden to call white people lazy. If he said only black people were lazy, how many people would care? But let's not forget the real issue here. It says why tech companies hire foreign workers, they can pay them less. This kind of racist. This kind of racist. Well, I mean, I guess it's just a joke, but I guess I can't really say it's racist. He didn't really. This is Roland's girl. It was Claude Anderson. I'm gonna end it on this if it'll play. Yeah, and it's sad that you get bought and paid for and foolish. See, they bought and paid for a foolish, cowardly, and just overall usually untalented or brilliant, and they're willing to take a bad deal to feel better than some other people and to not fight. Watch the people. You know what I noticed growing up? Soft kids often will grow up to be soft adults, and those soft adults will snitch easier.